Hey class, I want to show you an example of a Coates essay written by a student in the spring semester that was particularly effective. And we're not going to read the whole thing. I'm not going to take up a ton of your time with this, but I just want to go over some really key elements of essay writing and source citation that I want you to make sure you're on top of. So if you remember, I should also say that in the spring, I didn't ask the last question about reparations. I just added that because I think it's a good creative thing to have you guys write about. But this essay does not talk about reparations. So introduction. We want the introduction to have an attention getter that is broader than the topic. So redlining shouldn't be in the first 2/3 really of the introduction. It should be more general. It can be an anecdote. It can be rhetorical questions, it can be flip the script, or it can be more general information. No matter what you choose, you don't want to be talking specifically about redlining yet. So once the student kind of opened with stuff about the founding of the country, the freedoms, the Declaration of Independence, and then did a flip the script. Whenever you do a flip the script, you're going to use the word however. So all the wonderful things about the founding of this country. However, we have this history of racism. So then he's got his thesis in the last couple of sentences. I'm going to be looking at your thesis and your topic sentences before you write this essay, but I want to just remind you that the thesis statement needs to cover everything. So it really needs to touch a little bit on redlining, and why it started, how it affected people, that let the reader know that you're going to be talking about how things may have been different if it hadn't happened, and that also the essay will discuss reparations. All right, so I want to look at a body paragraph. If you remember this sort of source sandwich method that I'm having you do, a body paragraph is always going to open with a topic sentence before you cite the source. And the topic sentence, again, I'll be looking at your topic sentences. It's going to key right into that thesis statement. So this is bringing up the FHA. He brings up the general topic sentence about the FHA, and then he immediately cites Coates and paraphrases Coates' explanation of what redlining is. And you might notice this looks familiar. It looks familiar because this is the paragraph that I asked you to paraphrase. And as I said in that assignment, I want you to use this paragraph in this essay. So the paragraph you did for the paraphrase, use it in the essay. So he's got it cited up here. Now you guys just did the paraphrase. We're turning this into a whole body paragraph, so it's got to start with the topic sentence, cite the source, paraphrase the source. Then at the end, you want to pop back in as the writer and comment on it. You never want your paragraphs to end still using material and information from the source. You as the writer want to go back in. So he comes to a next topic sentence that has a little bit of a transition. Redlining then led. Make sure your topic sentences all contain at least a word, if not a few words of transition, connecting the paragraphs together. Again, he's citing Coates right away when he starts using material from Coates. And then he talks about the effects of redlining. Then the paragraph where he's going to write about how things might have been different if redlining had not happened, he's not actually citing Coates because this is all off the top of his head. Now you might decide you want to use part of the article for this. You don't have to. He didn't. But again, it's got a topic sentence, and then it goes into more depth about what this writer thinks would have been different. You'll notice he's not using I here, even though he's giving his opinion. So that's part of the instructions. I don't want you to use you or I in any of the essays this semester. Then he's got a conclusion. His conclusion sums up the main ideas, and then it leaves the reader with a final thought. And I want you to look at this. If you remember, both the attention getter and the final thought are actually broader than the topic. So The conclusion restates the main ideas, and then it gives the reader something to think about that is a takeaway from the essay about redlining, but can also apply to other things in the world. So he ends with, equality for all is the fundamental requirement for humanity to prosper. And this is looking really good. Then I just want to remind you of the formatting. So this is Times New Roman, 12 point, double spaced, and each paragraph gets indented with the tab key, no extra spaces between paragraphs. Because you're handing this in on Canvas, you don't need page numbers, you don't need your name, you don't need the date. That actually, and you don't need the topic. I just put this in here so I could talk to you guys about it. So normally this would be out. So you don't need all those things that make a formal essay if you were handing it in on paper, like name, date, my name, page number. You don't need any of that when you're handing things in on Canvas. Okay, hoping this helps. I'm going to also include this essay along with this video. Obviously, if you have questions, get in touch.